Hello, everybody. Hi, my name is Nettie Mae Kraft. I'm the co-artistic director of a very small but very wily theater company here in Nashville called Verge Theater Company. Being an artistic director is kind of the culmination of a lot of the other skills that I learned. Being an actor, a dialect coach, a director, a costume designer, set designer. At Verge, we kind of do a little bit of everything. And I really liked that. And it kind of just generally led me towards artistic director, which is really kind of a fancy way, I think, of saying you're sort of the brain and the heart of a theater company. You have a lot of responsibilities, and they're most of the really super fun responsibilities, in my opinion. It's not like you're directing the play, you are directing or orchestrating the whole company. So oftentimes I'm in charge of hiring or at least introducing people. Say somebody needs a costume designer for a play we've decided to do. I say, hey, I know these 3 people. What do you think? We check schedules. So there's networking for sure. So I feel like having some, fairly decent people skills helps. I use the word we a lot because I, unlike some other companies, I don't find it like as much of a pyramid. In the same way I tell my college classes that we are all making decisions together and everyone has input and everyone's valid. And at the same time, if it really comes to, push comes to shove, I'm sort of the veto. I kind of put together ingredients, including the seasons. I pick the plays. I pick the plays, I pick the people, but I get a little uncomfortable thinking about having some sort of power or control over other people's lives. So I really also think that my job as co-artistic director is to also be a very good listener. So, yeah.
So you touched on some of the skills that you need to be an artistic director. Is there anything else that you would say is very, very important or essential to sort of being in that position?
I think it's very important to be true to who I am as a human being and also allow that path for other people. I'm not originally from the South, even though my name is Nettie Mae. I come from like a different culture, and I need to understand where other people are coming from, and I don't tend to like to have people who are very much the same in a room together because, oh gosh, this is a scary thought. I tend to think that handled correctly and listened to, that conflict is not a bad thing. And in fact, in art, and especially in plays and theater, that's the point. The point is these clashes of ideas or cultures or people, and then we can start to think about what that is and what we can take out of it and move forward in action. What can we do? So as co-artistic director, I feel it's really important to let everybody be who they truly are. And that doesn't mean that people can't change or things don't happen when we get into conflicts with each other and we really listen to each other. But I don't need everybody to be, I don't need an echo chamber. I just need people to agree to give each other some grace and talk about some pretty difficult subjects with an open heart and an open mind. So I've just got a lot more room for other people. And I think artistic directors need to create room for stories that need to be told.
I think that's a really, it sounds like that's a very rewarding part of your job, is to be able to provide that. Are there any other rewarding parts or challenges that you would sort of put forward for people to know about?
Yes. Okay, so like Jackie Chan has this saying I use all the time. It's called, the water that floats the boat can also sink it. It's a fairly relationship-oriented business. Almost all of them really are. That's the thing. That's why like soft skills, like being able to listen, sort of having a heart and emotions, but not letting them control the situation that you're in if there is a conflict at your job.
So is there any advice you want to give to our students who want to look into more or find out more about being an artistic director? Like, where can they go? What can they do?
I will say this, because it's such a relationship-based business, and it is a business, but it's also an art. So it's a weird, griffin or whatever. I feel like sending out an email and just reaching out and saying hi, because believe it or not, okay, like, look, being a foster kid, here's what I'm going to say: use your uniqueness and your assets. And I think most of us in the arts love nothing more than when a young interested person comes to us and says, hi, I want to meet you and see what you do. Because send an email to that artistic director and just ask if you can have a 5-minute meeting. Ask if there are any opportunities to shadow for a day or two. I would also say wear a lot of hats. Okay, so the artistic director is too busy or out of town or whatever. Why don't you call up Lori Gann Smith and say, hi, what's going on in the costume shop? Can I sew on a button? And then you're just in the room. One of the things that's really cool is to watch we have this sort of apprentice kind of tradition in theater. And it's in a lot of places, right? But I think that just being in the world you're interested in any way. And then you also know when you become a director of a show, you kind of have an understanding of what you're asking of those other people. When you ask your costumer to do something, if you worked in the costume shop, even for a little bit, you understand how frustrating a zipper can be. Then you know that when your customer says to you, could we do this with a Velcro or a snap? Yes. Right? Yeah. And when you're a director and you're looking like, quote unquote, up the ladder, but you're looking at other positions in the company, if you have experience with other people's jobs, even in just the littlest bit of way, it makes you a better person to work with.
Thank you so much. This has been such a good conversation. And yeah, I think that the students will be calling you up maybe or emailing you.
Email away. Yeah. I'm a firm believer that artistic directors are a type of teacher, a type of university, I guess, a type of, we're gatekeepers too. So, keep in mind, everybody makes mistakes, but if word gets out, just like in any business, if word gets out that you're, kind of cruddy to deal with, I love saying yes, but one of the things you learn in this job is how to gently say no. Right. But for reasons, not feelings or thoughts, but for reasons. So yeah.
Sure.
It's good, yeah. And we love the rep. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you.
Yeah.